Oh, probably 18 months, 20 months ago, something like that.
Got it. Okay, sounds good. And made the transition to PC. Why? Just because it's more fun, more interesting to
So,
you?
I always liked playing PC, just gaming on PC. I kind of got out of it and got into console because it's easier and more convenient, and you don't have to screw around with drivers. And I always wanted to build a PC, and you kind of get to a wall on console where aim expression is a thing you can't really go beyond a certain point, or at least I
Yeah,
couldn't.
yeah. Makes sense.
And so I wanted to try it on PC. Built myself a computer and just started playing. Then I've got a little over 1,000 hours in the game total. So I play a lot, and I actually quite prefer PC now that I've been playing on it.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing that you said in of itself, just the fact that there's just not hard limitations in terms of how you can move your crosshair is kind of nice, right? Like it just feels like there's a
Yeah,
hard ceiling with what you can do. And obviously that's not technically true, but the other problem as well is as you start to get better at it, you start to deal with zimmers and it's just like, ugh, like
yeah.
console can just be a bit of a mixed bag here. So
I mean, you can
uh,
deal with aimbotters on PC too, but it just seems like it happens less.
it does from my experiences. So I'm looking at your form here. Obviously, maybe this has changed since you filled it out, but looks like a little bit of hit scan, a little bit of tank here and there. What is your hero pool looking like nowadays?
So on tank, I'm generally a Ram player. I can swap Orisa. I played Diva a lot on console. Diva on PC is not the same. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I can't get the same value. But generally, I
Mm-hmm.
end up starting with Ram, and I'll swap something else if I'm really getting pummeled around. Especially a Doomfist, I'll end up in a Hog. I've been focusing a lot on DPS lately because that's my lowest rank. I don't play much support, but between tank and
Sure,
DPS, tank I can get into high gold pretty reliably.
sure.
DPS, I seem in the gold 5, gold 4, sometimes silver 1 type of a range, and I seem to be stuck there a little bit more. I also kind of enjoy playing DPS a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
And my hero pool on DPS is it's very much Sojourn or Soldier is what
Yeah,
I play probably 95% of my time. And I swap between the two primarily based on how the enemy team moves. Because the primary being hit scan versus projectile, and the secondary being projectile versus hit scan, I
yeah.
find some games I'll play Sojourn and I just can't hit anybody. So I swap Soldier in that way, in that case.
Mm-hmm.
And the other way around also happens, right? So I have two codes pulled up here. One, I started Soldier and ended up, or started Sojourn and I just couldn't land a rail to save my life, and I ended up playing Soldier the rest of the game. And the other one, I
Mm-hmm.
stayed Sojourn the entire time.
Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah, we could look at a little bit of both of them most likely here. So, 5200 EDPI. That's totally fine. Glass mouse pads, fine. General advice. What am I missing? Switch from console to PC. Some games feel unwinnable, so I try to focus on cover, angle, and range. Right. Well, some games are going to demand that. Most games are going to demand that you just execute things well, not just what you need to do, or you just do it good. And the problem with
Fair?
that is like if we could always control exactly, if we always knew the solution and could execute on the solution, then life would be a lot easier, right? But the
Yeah.
problem is knowing the solution is not even half the problem. That's like 10% of the problem. The rest is the execution. In fact, you can win a lot of games not even
Yeah.
knowing exactly how you won, but just you did everything good, right?
Right. And the biggest thing I run into is when I die and I
Mhm.
watch the kill cam, I go, wow, that was dumb. Right.
Right,
But in the moment, it makes perfect sense
right, right,
while I'm
right.
doing it. Right.
And that's the execution side of things, right? Like that's the execution side of things. So okay, let's keep going here. Um, Short term hit plat. Where are you at rank wise right now?
DPS, I'm gold 5.
Gold 5. Long term, get as good as I reasonably can. Makes sense. Getting a few hours per day. Easy to down and play with a wife from 6 to 10 on a weeknight. Okay, sounds good. So it sounds like you're playing pretty consistently every
We
day.
are. Yeah.
And for you, it's been mostly DPS, duo Q ranked, right?
Yeah. Especially recently. So since I've sent in my little form, it's been
Mm-hmm.
almost exclusively DPS. Probably 80% duo Q with the wife.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. As long as you're getting that 20% solo queue, then you're good to go. The reason just being that she might be getting better and you might be getting better, or you're getting worse or she's getting worse. And if you have time to solo queue, it gives time for the system to kind of calibrate your adjustment on your
Yep.
own instead of trying to grade you guys as a unit because you're graded on together basically. Like you
Right.
gain and lose the same amount. There's no performance based SR anymore, so there's no way to tell who's performing more. So if she's lower ranked than you or you're higher ranked than her or you're lower ranked, it doesn't matter. Like you could unironically be the lower ranked player and still be boosting the other player because you're outperforming the other lower ranked player on the other team. So just as long as you
Makes
have
sense.
like anywhere from 15 to 20, 25% solo queue, you're obviously fine. And obviously it's just fun to do that, so go for it. Okay, understanding and mechanics, I think you have a pretty good attitude towards towards losses and not tilt, but sometimes that leads to me accept losses without critically diving into what I did to lose the match. Okay, I've only got about 4 to 5 months of consistent mouse aim experience, so that's a limiting factor as well. Okay, so I'm just zooming through this. So the big thing we'll need to look at is how are your mechanics looking at, specifically your mechanical habits, and then what decision-making, positioning, cooldown usage, and so on habits do you need to change. I want to address a couple of things. So looking at your kill cams, good understanding towards losses, but not really delving into why you lost. I'll be honest with you, I don't care, to be honest.
Okay.
The only thing that really matters in terms of why did I lose or why did I not lose is if you ever play a map or a match up where you feel completely lost. That's where you might need to look into the more general side of things and look, okay, how I play versus a ball as a soldier. Like, can I take angles? Can I not take angles? Everything other than that, almost exclusively, is just general soldier stuff.
Okay.
How's my cover usage? Not what would my cover usage have won the map? I don't know. I don't care. How is my cover usage objectively? How are my helixes?
Okay.
Am I aiming my helixes? Am I wasting my heal station? Am I planning out my ultimates? How does my aim look? Where's my crosshair placement looking? Am I taking good off angles and so on? Like, all of those things will win you more games, but don't worry about any individual game's outcome unless that outcome is something weird that you feel like you don't understand and would probably be helpful for the long term to understand, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Like, let's say you roll out an Atlas and you're like, I just felt completely lost in that map. That's probably something to look at because you're going to play that map a lot more times. Like, it's going to keep coming up, right? So you should probably take a look at that. But if you ever want to VOD review yourself, you, instead of finding what would have won me the match, or I could have avoided that death, or I could have gotten more value out of my ultimate, look for principles, look for habits, look for consistent mistakes or consistent things that you're doing well, and apply those as goals in your practice.
Okay.
The goal for every ranked game, whenever possible, is to just be the best soldier that you can be. And to do that, you have to train individual facets of your soldier gameplay that are weak. And if you don't know what those facets are, then you're not going to get better. So for you, when we really look at what you've really said, and I want to give you the floor in a second to kind of elaborate more, the only thing that you've really highlighted so far is that you're not super confident in your mechanics. And then your rails as well, right? So if I asked you to delve deeper, just from your initial impression, maybe your best guess, what are you not great at autopilot-wise as a soldier? What skills, cooldowns, positional decisions, angles, ultimates, do you feel like objectively you're not super strong at? Any guesses?
So if I was to pick on soldier, positioning is one that I've been trying to think about a lot, and I don't know if it's correct or incorrect, but I try to think about it.
Okay.
So I guess you'll probably point out if we go look at a game here if I'm doing it correctly or not.
Of course, yeah.
Obviously, there's the aim. I'm not sure about my aim. I have no idea, no comparison, right? The two of us switched to PC at the same time.
Yep.
And she's the only other person that I play with consistently on PC.
Sure.
But the other part is the ultimate. Soldier's ultimate is one of those things where it seems a little bit like I flip a coin, and either I get a 4K or I get nothing.
Yep. Any guess as to what facets have to do with it? I mean, you said it doesn't sound like you do, but take a guess.
My guess would be it's where I am when I use it, and it's timing. That's a big one, right?
Okay.
Because the 4Ks I get are if everybody's half or lower, and I can get an angle, I can just pop the ultimate and everybody just dies, right? It just happens. But there are times I can get value by just zoning with it, but identifying was what I did valuable or not in the moment is kind of hard to, and really doing it in retrospect isn't that useful. I want to know, is this the right place to go use it? Right.
Let me pause you right there. You've already got the right solution. Your goal is to either time it well such that it creates a lot of space when your team is there to follow up, even if it gets 0 kills, or use it late on an angle and be the superhero and get all the kills, be the main character. As long as you're using it, as long as it checks one of those boxes, then that's fine.
Yeah, and I guess that's what I'm thinking about, but I guess the execution of that, right? Am I actually doing that or not, right? And I guess I'm coming at this from a perspective of assuming I know nothing. And that's kind of where my head's at, and that's what I'm trying to do, but I'm actually accomplishing that in the way that is the most effective.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. Clearly not, because I'm below average on the ranks, right? So clearly I'm not doing it accurately.
Of course, but at least you have the right impression of what you're trying to aim for. Now I want to go back a little bit and talk about your positioning. You said I'm not super confident on my positioning. Do you know what ingredient of positioning you feel like you're not executing with?
Well,
or not consistently.
I've got this little piece of paper. that my lovely wife made for me that says CAR, cover angle range, and it sits underneath my monitor. And I try to use that to remind myself that those are the facets of it. But I definitely catch myself W keying into trying to make a kill, and sometimes I end up chasing around to try and seal a kill, and about 60 or 70% of the time that gets me killed, right? So I think that's a habit I need to break. But it mostly, I think it's cover, right? It is my biggest thing I struggle with. Like I'll find a place for cover and I end up drifting out of it.
Yeah. Yep. Why do you think that is?
Because I'm trying to hit a shot, right?
Sure.
So it's,
yeah. That's a great
switch
answer.
between I'm trying to not get shot or I'm trying to shoot somebody, and doing both at the same time is tough to do, right? I end up switching from one to the other, I think.
Okay. Fair enough. Anything else with Soldier that you feel like you need to work on?
Not. That's what I think I need to work on Soldier.
Let's move to Sojourn,
I guess I'm
then.
also just Sojourn's a different one. So Sojourn, I think I have a good idea of how to use the orb, right? The disruptor orb as a zoning tool, right? It's not always trying to get damage. It's trying to, the tank comes forward. If I want to block off the tank, I use it almost like a May wall, right? Especially if they come around a corner, I don't want the rest of their team to come around a corner with them. I'll put it behind the tank, right? Or I try to do that. But there's some execution stuff there. Sometimes I hit the wall next to me instead of actually sending it forward.
Of course.
The other trick is mechanics on Sojourn are a lot harder for me.
Okay.
If I can get it right, I can get way more value out of Sojourn than Soldier. Just the rail, the burst damage from rail, right? You can't out heal a rail to the eye socket, right? That's
correct.
There's a lot of value there to get, but it seems on and off. Some games, like the first one I've got here, is a Soldier game because I started on Sojourn and just couldn't land a rail to save my life. We got rolled the whole first point, or the whole first half of this escort map. And we actually turned it around. It turned into a win, but it felt like only after I switched Soldier. I don't know if that's after, therefore because, or it just happened to, everybody kind of figured ourselves out after that. But Sojourn, I think mechanics is my biggest issue. I try to apply the same positioning concepts as Sojourn, or at least I think I do. But it's definitely a mechanical challenge with Sojourn. If my mechanics aren't on point, I end up back at Soldier.
It's definitely more feast or famine. So it might be that you just either have a little bit of a tougher day, or you are not clutching it in the same way, or not giving yourself time to relax and hit the shot that you need to. We can take a look at it.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't have any other questions. Do you have any other questions for me?
I'm sure I will, but
Sure.
not right now.
Let's jump in there.
Okay. You want me to send you a code?
Sure. Let me get my recording thing here, and then we should be good to go. Okay, I think we're good.
That's the first one. That is a Sojourn. I started Sojourn, and I ended up on Soldier on that one.
Sure. Works for me. Let's take a look here.
Ready for battle. Croissant.
I still have much to learn.
So it sounds like
you're
you've
gonna
done... Go ahead.
You're gonna love this first death, by the way.
Oh yeah, that's excellent right there. That's a good start. We're on the angle. We're eager to peek, and then we get our head blown off. Happens. Let's go next.
I was in my mind back up for cover, but I just didn't have the time.
Easiest VOD review I've done all day. Let's go. We're cruising. Okay. So, disruptor shot for zoning. It's fine. You had a little bit of confirmation that somebody was there. It's not the end of the world. Let's take a look here. So where's your angle here?
I want to be upstairs.
Right, but
I hate
you're not. You're not up. But are you? The key thing is you don't love where you're at because you want to be upstairs. Okay. Are you on an angle?
Well, okay. So if I look at this, my tank and the Mercy are to the right. My other DPS is upstairs. So I'm on an angle. I don't know that it's a good one because there's only so many angles you can take on this part.
Correct. We're trying to simplify things here because you're below average. We need to get you to above average, and so we don't need to overcomplicate. You are off to an angle. You're not in the enemy team's face. This is fine. This is where things start to not be fine.
Yeah, see, I walked off the angle.
It's object permanence in terms of, like, you need to remember that they are there and they will be there in just a few seconds, right? So just stay here and here they are, right? This is your opportunity here. felt like a little bit of like, I want to chase something, and then there you go. Now, there's a couple of other things we got to talk about, right? So we've seen it once before, and we're seeing it again right now. I don't want you railing this Zen. Why?
Why not?
Because it's 35 rail charge. If you shoot him in the head, it doesn't matter. He's going to walk behind the wall. You should almost always, not always, but usually only use a rail when it's going to confirm a one-shot. So you railing Zen here is not going to kill the Zen. And it's going to put your gun into a overheat delay where you have to kind of cool down for half a second after the rail, and you could do no more damage. In addition to that,
I didn't actually realize there was a cooldown after rail before.
There's a delay. There's a delay. I'll show it to you in practice range. And this is really what makes using rail so very dangerous, is that it puts you in lockout. Now, that doesn't mean that you should not use rail or that you should hesitate. You should not hesitate at all. But if I use... You see that delay?
Oh, yeah.
So that means that you need to hit your rails, and it needs to matter when you do hit them. And so what happens is, in this particular situation here, if we go all the way down to, is this one, the one here? I think so. Yeah, this is
on Dorado, yeah.
Is not only does it put you in a little bit of a cooldown, which is annoying, but also the fact that it means that you have started things off with 35 charge that you need. You need to keep this currency, essentially, to build up your next rail. Now it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? You need to keep that for when you actually have an opportunity for a one-shot, right? Or at least doing a large chunk of damage. Like, again, it doesn't have to be a one-shot, but obviously 35 charge and almost a full HP Zen is not going to work. Does that make sense?
Right. Okay. Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay.
So I tried to rotate here. I wasn't quite sure where I wanted to be at this point.
Are you on an angle?
An angle, I guess, but I don't love that because I'm right next to the tank.
But there's some distance between you and the tank. I don't care. You have cover. You have an angle. It's fine.
Okay.
It's not that you can't understand why this isn't an optimal angle. I mean, you can probably say it too. Like, there's a little too close to the tank. I could have used verticality if I had the time to, but you cannot do these things in the middle of a fight. You don't have the skill set right now, right? It's not that you don't understand them. It's not that you couldn't even coach them to somebody else. You just can't do them yourself. Right? Welcome to the club, right? Like, so when you go in, you have to set the bar just over what you can do right now. And that's take an angle. That's it. Even this rail here. What's the problem with this rail here?
It went into the shield, which means it's a complete waste.
Well, not necessarily, right? If there's nothing else to shoot, right? But you have
But there's a Lucio right there.
And there's also a Zen right here, right? Either one of these targets is more attractive than a Rhyme. So it's not that railing a shield is always bad. Of course it's not bad. There's always exceptions to the rule. But it just means that you should be looking for a squishy or anything, a warm body first. And honestly, maybe don't even use the rail. If all you see is a shield, just keep shooting the shield, wait for them to drop it. Find something else. Because this means your ability to deal with this or duel with this is gone. Your pressure is gone. Even that there, you build a rail, you dump it into the Rhine again, right? So, like, is shooting tank back? Of course not. But if there's something else to rail, then please shoot the rail. A lot of what Sojourn's cycle is using that trickier to hit projectile damage on a tank if you need to, but saving the hit scan for the squishies if you can, right? Doesn't mean that you couldn't shoot the Zen here with your projectile aim. Of course you could, but what's happening is you're not utilizing what makes Sojourn uniquely strong, right? And that is the rail. The rails have been fairly poor. The angles have been not great, but they've been fine. Like, you're kind of rotating around and thinking about things. Like, right now, obviously, this is not where you want to be. Where's your angle?
Yeah, my angle right now is terrible. I'm staring down the
so
choke. The better angle would be left or right.
Correct.
Right?
So we put it on left. Which one would make more sense given where you came from here?
Left.
Right. It's just easier. It's just easier. Exactly. And there's the rail again. Now, crucially, you don't see a lot, but you would be at 100 rail right now if you not used it where you did. Now you're about to get shattered because you're on main.
Yep.
Okay, next fight. Do you have the capability of streaming Overwatch through Discord?
I don't see why not.
I'm going to pull the plug right here. Let's go. Jump into a rank game.
Okay. No pressure.
No pressure. Actually, I don't know why I shut down stream, because while you're in queue, we can maybe look at some stuff, but yeah.
Okay, so I have one monitor here. I've actually not done this before, but it keeps offering me to do it. So, yeah, I should be able to hit share my screen, right?
Yep, just select Overwatch, and then you should be good to go. Beautiful. Looks good.
Cool.
And this is how we're going to practice. I don't care what's going to win you this game or what's going to lose you this game. I don't care what they're playing. I don't care if you're hitting your rails or missing all of your rails. All we're doing, you can jump into the practice range if you want, just to warm yourself up a little bit, is I want you to build a rail and then shoot something in the head. That's it.
Okay.
Miss every rail. That's all. But we're not going to shoot tanks. We're not going to turn. You're going to be intentional with every rail that you do.
I got to change my volume here because the game is too loud and I can't hear you.
That's fine. Good news is I won't be talking too much, so you'll probably be good to go. But yeah, get comfortable here. Go for the moving bots. It's not that much harder, but at least it's better than the stationary bots.
Okay. Do this again. All right.
Testing. All good? Audible?
Yep.
Okay,
Much better.
Perfect. You have any questions about what we talked about here?
No, it makes sense.
Yeah, just use the build a rail, and then when you only use it, it's not just using it on squishies. That's kind of part of it, but just do you really think that you should with 20 rail the squishy? I mean, no. Like that doesn't mean you always have to build a full rail. Like sometimes you'll be dueling. Let's say you start shooting this practice range bot. When should you rail the practice range bot? Probably like 45, 50, right? Because he's already taken damage from your primary fire. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you don't need to build a full rail if it's a 1v1. But what if that target's getting pocketed? What if you built the rail off of a tank and are now shooting the Mercy, right? So this is the thing. It's like it's all about breakpoints of this ability, and that takes a lot of thought to do well. So that's why you shouldn't worry about your cover usage, and you shouldn't worry about your disruptor shots, and you shouldn't worry too much about anything else because we're fully fixating on when do I rail. That's it. Now, to help you out a little bit, what I'll have you do is at the start of the fight, I'll have you think about where should you set up on your off angle. So before you even need to shoot your weapon, where do you need to go?
Okay.
But once you're there, we're going to fixate exclusively on that alternate fire. That's it. Leave voice just so that you can hear only my shrieky nasally voice and not anybody else's. There you go. You can choose whatever map you want. Doesn't matter to me.
All right. There's definitely a preference in the community here to go for not pushing control.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about Gibraltar?
Lots of verticality. So I actually usually go to Sojourn on this map because I can get up places so much easier. Sometimes I still struggle because it's a longer range. So hitting primaries on Sojourn is harder the farther away you get, especially if they're wiggling.
It is. Yep. It is. Absolutely.
All right. What is Tank going to ban here? If nothing, I'll just do what I usually do.
Sure. Whatever you usually do is fine with me.
Hate Doomfist. Cannot play against a good Doomfist. There's just nothing I can do. It feels that way anyway.
So what we'll have you do is, as soon as you roll out on defense, start to think, where do I want to start on my angle? Just to start. Don't need you to think beyond that. Just one step positioning is all we're going to do. Once that's done, my challenge is to exclusively focus on when should I alt fire. Not your accuracy, just when should I use it. Who should I shoot it on? Everything goes into that alternate fire. Not your disruptor shot, not your cooldown usage, nothing else.
Okay.
So if you look like an idiot, if you're throwing the game because if you'd used your positioning better, you would have won, don't care. That's not what we're here for. You need to be a better Sojourn. So this is the lowest hanging fruit, immediately obvious from the little bit of gameplay that we saw.
Okay. This is where I usually start.
Works for me.
On this map. I'll set up right here.
Fine for me. You're on an angle. That's all that matters. We don't need an optimal angle. We just need an angle. And we go from there.
Made me look like a superhero. The reality was not as inspiring. I am grateful for you, Captain. That
All right, rail time. Full fixation on where do I rail, when do I rail.
Nope.
This is a perfect example of this is just how rank goes. She hit. That's a really nice rocket from her, right?
It really was.
Go next. Now, if you had railed earlier there, that would have been a very bad mistake because you were at 55 real and she was 2/3 HP. You needed about 15, 20 more rail charge to be able to get that one shot. So nice job not railing. Let's do it again. Where's your angle? And then now think about rail. That was too low of a rail charge for that to get the one shot there. That was good. That was good as well. He was low. That almost would have one-shot him. There it is.
She's going to res or no?
In fact, if you want a spicy statement, you could have railed even earlier there because she was 2/3 half HP. So you could have railed even sooner, like a quarter of a second faster. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that was really good. Nicely done. You're on an angle, so we're fine. Just keep focusing on your rail. When do you rail? There it is. Beautiful.
That was a little early.
Maybe. If that had headshot, that would have killed him.
Oh, that was the time to rail, but I missed it.
That's okay. You got knocked to the side. That's okay. So you notice that while you were judging whether that rail was good, you accidentally railed too early again, right?
Yep.
Fix it this time. There it is. Good job. Very, very, very good job.
Okay.
Now, obviously, it feels good because you're hitting a couple of nice rails, right? But whether you're missing them or not, you're making the right decision. That's what we're focusing on right now. Mm-hmm. You're not railing at 25 charge. You're not railing the tank who's shielding when there's another target available. This is good. Now, I want you to do the same thing, but do it with your overclock. Focus on the rail. This one you could focus more on your aim side of things.
Well.
Get rolled? Yeah,
Yep.
that's fine. That's fine.
I wasn't going to overclock that early, but when she was up in the air there, I said,
I think it was fine. Yeah, I think it was fine. I agree. I think it's fine. That's a duel that should always scale in your favor at that distance, right? You just missed the shot, and also you didn't have your disruptor or your slide, so it's fine. Okay, we're back to the rails. When should you rail? Mm-hmm. Very good. That's it. That was good.
It's frickin' Winston, I swear.
Uh-huh. That's good. Get your rail off before you die. Get some extra damage out. That was good. It was good. You didn't immediately rail. Yeah, it doesn't matter. That doesn't matter.
Stop resing me like this, I swear to God.
Fine. Alright, when should you rail? Focus on your rail. Nice. When should you rail? Good, good. If that had headshot him, I would have killed him. Just got life ripped. When should you rail? When should you rail? Nice. Good stuff. That was not a good one. You were only 34.
No, it was not.
That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. You're fine. Don't worry about winning. Just worry about your rails. This is just a practice environment.
I want to be upstairs. I feel like it's going to take me too long to get there.
Don't worry about it. We're just worried about our rails right now. Good. Nice. Good job.
Did they just C9 it?
Yeah. Their Winston was getting murked. Press tab.
Huh.
3 and 5. What an abysmal stat line. But you know what?
Yeah.
You actually applied pressure. You forced resources. You scared people. You forced ultimates. You forced resources onto yourself because you were lethal. You were twice as lethal as everything that you did under auto in the VOD review. You know why? Yep. One change. You were angling okay. Under auto wasn't great, especially towards the end. You were angling okay here. Wasn't great, especially towards the end. But you know what you did? You actually used your rail effectively. As long of a map, as many as you missed, as few headshots as you get. You reached break points with your rail, and then you murdered people or almost murdered people consistently. Keep doing that.
Okay.
Good job. You functioned your job as a DPS, which is to apply significant pressure, and you did so. Even when you didn't get kills.
I usually come out either top or left here.
Sure. Works for me. Not concerned about it. As long as it's an angle, it's fine with me.
It made me look like a superhero.
Did you notice that you railed the Winston cart there towards the end, right? Not the very, very end, but that was good. Why? Because he had no bubble. He was 200 HP. If you'd headshot him, you would have killed him there. That was good. All we're looking for is we want serious pressure with your rail, not lazy rails. And you immediately fixed it here. This is really good. Let's do it again.
All right.
Focus on your starting angle, and then, again, rail. When do you rail? Yep. Don't need to build any rail charge there. She's 1 HP. Good stuff. Now focus on your angle first. Let's reset your angle, and then when do you rail?
Oh, boy.
That's okay. You get her. There it is. Good job. Again, the positioning is like, oh, I shouldn't have been there. It doesn't matter. That's not what we're practicing, right? It was an angle. It was the wrong angle. It doesn't matter. We're worried about our rail. Which, by the way, you hit a good rail there, right? You got without that rail, she doesn't die. So, nice job.
All right.
Okay, where's your angle?
I definitely W keyed when I should have S keyed there.
It's fine. Who cares?
It doesn't matter.
Yep, GG's. Good stuff.
GG bot team.
I love the text-to-speech. Love that. I love that so much. Okay.
I turned that on console just so I could actually see what was going on. I just kind of left it.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, let's look at some Soldier.
Okay.
So I'm not saying that there aren't other aspects of your Sojourn that you need to work on. We'll give you a full host of things to work on with Sojourn. I'm going to start off with you need to continually push yourself to take just any angle. I trust you to be able to find out the optimal angle for sure, but it was concerning on Dorado watching as things got a little bit messy and distracting you to go right behind your tank and then get shattered. That is not good, right? So as important as cover angle range are, I want you to just, I don't want you to overcomplicate it until you can get the angle right every single time.
Okay.
You go to the oh no, I took an angle, D was on top of me, crap, right? I messed it up. Sure, that's fine. Yep, do it again now. Do it again. Keep doing it until it happens. Now, the other thing, as we said, obviously with what we were practicing here, was you need to be way more deliberate with your rail. The entire reason, of why you're playing Sojourn was wasted. Because you were railing random things and are wasting your rail at 25 charge or not trusting yourself to even hit the rail. I don't know if it was like a confidence thing or not, but the point being is if you don't hit your rails, you don't avoid that issue. You need to address it head on. Force yourself to try to hit the rails. You did that this round. You missed most of them. The ones that you hit mattered, though, and that's how you win the fight. I'm not saying you were the only reason you won your fight. The enemy team was a bit of a bot for sure, but and you did your job. You practiced exactly what we wanted to practice, and so now you need to keep doing that until you're 15% better at doing that without thinking about it, right?
That makes sense.
From there, I don't think we would work on too much more. I want you to force yourself to take angles. I want you to force yourself to be more deliberate and cautious and thoughtful about how you're using your rail, and that's all. Let's look at some Soldier.
Okay.
Do you want to look at the same code here?
Yeah, let's look at the same code because I switched Soldier there, and the game turns around shortly thereafter.
Okay. Can you see my stream still? I think I still have it up. You might need to click around in Discord to find it.
Oh, yes, I can.
Okay. Let's go back and look. Any questions with the Sojourn or the live coaching?
No, that was very helpful. I appreciate it. I didn't know if we were going to do that today or not, but that was good. That's an easy one thing to think about, right? Is just time the rail and focus on the break point.
Yeah, exactly. And whether that's tank or not, like sometimes you'll be just farming a Roadhog. It's the only thing you can see. You build 100 rail, shoot him. Build 100 rail, shoot him. Build 100 rail, shoot him. Right. But sometimes you farm it on the Roadhog and you sit on it and you're looking at that on. You're like, come on, right? So it's your judgment, but it does take a lot of brain power because you're not just paying attention to the threshold. You're also paying attention to aiming it. Right. Rail is really not easy to use, and so it deserves your full brain power. So when I was live coaching there, I wasn't just keeping it simple because you're dumb or inexperienced or bad. It's because when I'm live coaching a top 500 player, I do the same thing. When you practice, you don't multitask. At best, you do what we did, which was get yourself on an angle at the start, then ignore it and just focus on your aim. You kind of see what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's how you should be playing in 90% of your games. Ignoring every other facet of your gameplay except the one that you're trying to sharpen up. Okay. Soldier, the difference between Soldier and Sojourn, as you can probably guess, is more consistent pressure from Soldier, a lot less bursty, right? And generally a little bit more flexibility with how deep your angles can be, right? So, you look at the position like this. Would this position be good with Sojourn? Absolutely be good with Sojourn. But you're going to be a little bit more confident that you can run away and or sustain yourself on this angle. So this is good. Good helix. Bad trigger discipline. Are you familiar with that term?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was hoping for him to peek a pixel out somewhere as well.
I got you. But then what that means is that if he doesn't peek a pixel, then you're going to get caught reloading when he does.
Yeah.
So here's what you do. You sit your crosshair right here and you just sit. Or you shoot something else while you're waiting. It's fine. It's your choice. Do you think the kill's more important, or do you think just keeping pressure on the enemy team anywhere else is more important? I don't care. Your call. But
right now it would be the kill because they have the advantage.
Sure, that's fine. But stop shooting the truck, right? So whether you want the kill in the Zen or not, don't shoot the truck.
There.
I love the angle. I love the helix. I love the healing station. The aim is actually not too shabby either when you're actually focusing on it. The helixes look good. Nicely done. Off angle wins it. If any questions come up in here, just let me know.
This Zen rolls me again here in a second. So in my mind, I think there's just a Zen.
Mm-hmm.
There is not just a Zen.
Well, then what is the soldier's solution to a problem that surprises you?
Run away.
Run away, right? That's what you're best at, right? I mean, soldiers just run.
Yeah, I should have jumped off the edge over there to the right.
And find a different angle.
I stood there and got rolled.
Yeah, Soldier is one of the weakest characters at the game when he's contested on any angle. He loses to Widow, he loses to Tracer, he loses to Ball. But the thing that makes Soldier unique is that if he doesn't like where he is, he can rotate better than any other character in the game, barring none. Even a Tracer has to burn her important cooldown. You burn nothing. It's an infinite cooldown. Just use it. So when this happens, run. Find a different angle. Because you are a problem that they must solve here, right? And so you're forcing attention and resources here. Good. They don't want to walk into Junkrat here. That was you that made them walk into Junkrat here, because the Junkrat up here is not that threatening, but you are. So what do? You run away? Okay, so then where do you run away to? With the information that you would have, a lot of people here, nobody here, where's your angle?
The angle ought to be down to the right.
Yeah.
The truck, right?
Yeah. Well, this would be potentially fine. You could go here. You could go to this high ground here. You could rotate all the way around over here. You're Soldier. You can do whatever you want. Find the open spot. Thoughts on this angle?
So I've got cover relatively, I think. I've got an angle, but the range is a little far.
So where should you go?
Up to the left, I think.
Or give me another option. There's both. Both are good.
Well, there is the rotate around to the right. I could go wrap around all the way behind him.
Sure could. Either one works. I'm down for either one. Both are good. But you got to move.
Yeah, and I stay here, and I get rolled because of it. I remember this very clearly because I get hit by a bus here in a second. Just wait. It's hilarious.
Right, because you just didn't move, right? Like your angle's okay, like but when you get pressured on the angle, you just kind of throw up your hands and weep about it. No, go find a different angle. Where's the optimal angle right now? Even if you make the wrong call, I'd still rather that than you just stand there and freeze.
So I try to get really aggressive with angles here at this point, and this I think worked really well because I didn't even get a kill here, but just watch what happens. I think I did this correctly. Close.
Let me give one small adjustment. At this range, just open with Helix first.
Okay.
Just because it's going to be like hitting the broadside of a barn. It's going to be pretty easy. But once you start to shoot him, it may not be quite as easy. Now, you do hit it here. And so I'm not really judging the result because it works either way. I'm judging the habit that we want to make sure that we're addressing, which is you generally don't want to open with shooting there. And then what's the rule when you get contested on an angle with a lot of resources?
Run away.
You need to run away, right? Now, does that mean you need to run all the way back to your team? No, but you need to not be peeking this right now. I know he's won, but you got to be really careful. Yeah. A little unfortunate to use Healing Station, but yes, that was very good. That was a big space creation move right there. As you predicted, it was very good. Nice job.
Because that bought us most of this first corner here, I think.
And then now you got to find out where's my next angle. Uh-oh. You don't really have the HP for this, honestly. I think that she just misplayed that. That's where you would want to wait a second. So you go here. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Peek your team, get a little bit of healing, or just chill, and then go from there again. You just didn't really have the resources to win this angle. You see it? You're 130. She's full. She probably has Suzu. I don't know what she's doing. The Kiriko players are of a different breed in this rank. They just don't know how to 1v1 anybody. But yeah, good stuff. I mean, I can't hate on you being on an angle and shooting people in the face. So, like, this is good. Yes, good, beautiful, love it. Yeah, you're just basically carrying your team to success right now. Like, not even basically, you are. So, and it's because your rotations are great. It's good stuff. Don't really care about the Deval fight. Let's look at what happens here. Once again, we're playing the angle. Nobody's contesting us. This is good. Yeah, this is great. You are, I mean, this rotation is also great, right? You deepen your angle, find a different sightline. One thing I will say, though, is part of that trigger discipline. Earlier we talked about the trigger discipline when we were shooting the cart. Now there's just wide open space, but...
I kept going, yeah.
You kept going, right? So part of it is the kickback of the weapon, which is very aggressive. Part of it's because your aim is not that good. It's not bad, but it's not that good. It's just gold aim. It's not bad for your rank. It just is. So the way to improve that, as you know with trigger discipline, if you've seen any of my videos, is it forces you to be deliberate about each shot. It's not a life hack to hit more shots. It's a life hack to make you a better mechanical aimer forever. Forever. The best players with trigger discipline are not bronze, silver, gold, plat, diamond players improving. They're top 500 pro players. They're the best players with trigger discipline because even pro players know they're not perfect, and so they're the ones that are pausing you more. You'll see pro players pause their clips way more than plat diamond players, even though their mechanics are better, for that exact reason. But I love the angles. Yeah, just run. Yep, good job. Now go back and... Now, you could re-peek that angle, or you could find an open spot.
I don't think I do.
So
I go
I
right
see,
and go high ground here, I think.
I want to see what you do. I mean, I don't mind re-peeking this. It's not the end of the world, but I do agree with you. Like, I think this is, given the circumstance, as you can kind of see, this range is too far. So you need to go, this isn't working. Okay, oh, yep. There's nobody on high ground, so there you go. You're hesitating for uptime. Stop doing that. Your team doesn't need you right now. Your team needs you in 5 seconds. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's the value of soldiers, that you're always scared, I don't want to be out of the fight. Doesn't matter. You run really, really fast. You'll only be out of the fight for a few seconds. It's worth it. Trust me.
Okay.
Kind of like when remember you were on the high ground and the Rhine's in, and you'd have to flip the entire map to find a new angle. Totally fine. You're the best character in the game to do that. Just do it. It's fine.
Okay. I eventually get over myself and get up here.
Yeah, I respect it. But I would question, if that Orisa had peaked here, would you have rotated or would you have stayed? Right? That's the real danger. Would you have lost what you intended to do? But yeah, this is good. Heck, you can go deeper here. Sure. Yeah, this is beautiful. I mean, this is what Soldier does best, right? Find the spot. This high ground will often be contested, so you won't be able to take it. But if it's here, okay, then go for it. Same thing with opening with Helix. If you can catch them in a predictable arc, but honestly, it's really not that big of a deal. The biggest thing here has just been the trigger discipline. But even with the poor trigger discipline, this is still creating a lot of space. You just have to hit a shot. That's all.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think this was my first game of the day.
Yeah, it happens. You're always going to be rusty. Okay, let's do it again. Live coaching time. Cue it up.
Oh boy. Oh jeez. All right. I gotta do. And I put that on my other screen. There we go.
Okay. Yes, beautiful. Okay, let's do it again. I probably should have warned you that we're gonna likely go back in. My bad.
No, all right. No worries.
Okay, let's so we're gonna have two options here, both of which are gonna be worth. So the last time we kind of cheated. We gave you two things to work on, because one you could work on really easily at the start, and the second one you could focus on mid-fight. This one's gonna be a bit more challenging, which is why I'm gonna give you the responsibility. you can work on always, am I in the optimal angle? Am I in the optimal angle? Am I in the optimal angle? So not just the initial positioning, but as the fight evolves, where do you go? Where do you go? Where do you go? Or you work on trigger discipline in only your mechanics, not your angles, only your mechanics. Your choice.
Okay.
Either one we can practice.
Okay.
What would you prefer to work
on? Well, my gut says that am I on the right angle is going to have more of an impact than trigger discipline, but I could be wrong about that.
I would say 50-50, and to be honest with you, it doesn't really matter because both are so incredibly crucial that it doesn't matter if it's 55-45 or 60-40. You're going to need to practice both if you're going to want to get to platinum. So in your own time, just like with Sojourn, how you'd work on your angle some games, you'd work on your rail some games, and just do a little bit of both, you're going to need the same thing with Soldier. You're going to need to probably practice 30-40% of your games with one skill, 30-40% of your games with another skill. So it doesn't really matter. And again, we're not really worried about what's going to give us the biggest bang for your buck right now. We want both skills are important long term. That's all we really care about. So whatever
then
you
I
feel
guess
like.
Trigger discipline seems to be my weakest one then of the two, at least from what we were watching.
That works for me. Works for me. I might help cue you with the angles as well, but I wouldn't worry about doing it on your own. Just all we'll do is we'll be like, hey, what angle should you be on? And then from there, we'll just allow you to just trigger discipline. Now, leave a voice for real quick, and then we'll talk about trigger discipline. So, how do you practice trigger discipline to your understanding?
When you can't hit something, don't shoot, right?
Here's how you practice trigger discipline at the start. You ready? You assume that you're going to miss after a few bullets, and you stop shooting. You force yourself to stop shooting, even if you're hitting the target.
Really?
Yes. So I want for the first few minutes, I'm going to force you to do mid-clip pauses. But after 7 or 8 bullets, unless you're shooting a shield, stop shooting, realign the crosshair in the head, and resume shooting. Even if you're not, just force yourself to pause. Get comfortable with the pausing. Then, after a few minutes, if you feel like you've got the rhythm down and you feel like, okay, I'm doing okay with this, then I'll let you make the call for when you should start shooting. But I'm going to force you, I'm going to create a rigid, uncomfortable structure for you to get comfortable with pausing first, then you're allowed to interpret it. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yep.
Okay. Once you get comfortable with the pausing, then when I feel like you've got comfortable with the pausing, then you're allowed to kind of make your own decisions. Any questions here?
No. It's going to feel really bad if I stop shooting and I could have secured a kill.
Right, it is, but you're missing a vast majority of your shots on good angles even when you are shooting all the time, so it doesn't really matter, does it, right? This is not necessarily
when you put it that way.
It's not really a boy, that's a gold opinion. This is not really a short-term disadvantage, not as much as you think. You'd be surprised. I come with Tracer players. I work with Tracer players all the time. They're like, yeah, but if I stop, like it's gonna lower my DPS. No, it's not. It's not going to. You're missing most of your clips anyway. So, all right. So we'll focus on your initial angle, the start, just like we did with the Sojourn. But just like we did with the Sojourn, as soon as you get to that initial starting angle, focus exclusively on put the crosshair in the head, mid-clip pauses, make it pretty. Okay. Force yourself to pause after a little bit. Who's on your angle right now? Shoot whoever's here. Pause. There it is. Pause. Pause. Good job. Oh, I didn't know the brig was there. I'm gonna give it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We're only focused. We're mechanics now. That's all we care about.
Okay.
You took an angle. You got pushed out of an angle. You could have retaken an angle, but I don't care. You started on an angle. That's all I care. Start on an angle. Start on an angle. And then force the mid-clip pause. Pause. Good job. Where's your angle?
Well, right now, I think we're regrouping.
Yeah, but you need to go and find your angle for next fight.
Yeah.
Because you got time.
Good
This
grief.
is where spam damage is coming from. Find the angle. All right. Mid clip. Let's make it pretty. Pause. Pause. Good. Don't bother with Valk. Find something else. It's fine. Good job. That baby diva was a great example of what I'm talking about. You got greedy for the kill and missed literally every single shot as she ran down, right?
Yeah.
Force yourself the mid clip, pause, maybe she dies there. That being said, you're doing fine. This is, besides that one moment of weakness, right? You're doing an excellent job for what we're practicing. Keep up the good work. Pause. Oh, we didn't even need to there. Okay. Go and
I don't think I'm
disengage
gonna
here.
retake this.
Just go and disengage, yeah. Good. Okay. Find your angle here at the start.
I hate all these angles.
That's okay. Find one. Good.
Okay, I've got to get over there.
So start with your angle, and then just keep doing what you're doing with your mechanics. This is fine. There's something will likely be here soon. There it is. That was good. That was a good little mid-clip pause there. That was nice. Mm-hmm. Yep. Now we don't mid-clip pause. We just hold it down.
All right, that didn't work.
That's okay. Find your angle, and then mid-clip pause.
Good grief. Yep. Okay.
Okay. Do you feel more comfortable with the pausing here?
I feel comfortable with the pausing.
Okay.
I don't know that I'm going to hit more shots, though.
Okay, so then this is what we're going to allow you to do. I'm going to ask you to use your judgment for when you should pause and when you should not. And I'm going to call you out every time you shoot for too long. Every time.
Okay.
Focus on your initial angle here, and then we'll go from there. Good. Now, when should you pause your clip? Good. 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 Very well done. That's beautiful. Good. Stay disciplined with your mechanics here. Don't get sloppy. Good. Now, where should your angle be? Like, where's this fight happening? Where should you be? There's not anyone
It's going to
clear.
be happening over there, so I don't think here is going to work.
All right, so find your angle, and then again, focus on being disciplined with your mid clips.
I kind of like to be up there. I don't think I have time.
That's all right. Very good. Good.
I didn't have a rocket there at all.
That's all right. Focus on your angle. Probably lose this fight, but you can start to think about how you'll set up for next fight if you guys are able to retake.
They've been coming from that direction.
Mhm.
I love and hate being over on this side.
I'm
I'm gonna give it a shot. I don't know. We're gonna have to touch though.
Just go ahead and run off point. Mechanics here, just relax. There it is. Stay focused on your mechanics. Pause your clips when you need to. That was good. No, that's
Brig.
good. That was good. That was good. That was good. You're doing a pretty good job naturally on your own. It's not perfect, but you're doing a fairly good job with it. Good stuff. Okay. Angle again. Mid-clip pause.
Okay, I like the back angles for this one.
Sure.
Lovely. That's what we needed was a stagger.
Yeah, are bad. I'm staying here.
Mid-clip discipline here. Focus on your angles and mid-clip. Uh-huh. Don't spam. Be deliberate. Each shot needs to matter.
I don't like this angle anymore.
Works for me. Yes. Yes. Beautiful. You almost got her.
Jesus.
That was good. That was good.
I think I'm holding my ult too long too.
That's okay.
If I'd ulted that Mercy, I would've got her.
Yeah, but we're not worried about your Mercy. We're not worried about your Mercy. This is or your ult. Sorry, we're not worried about your ult. I mean, that's true, but we'll keep focused on the trigger discipline. We got one more fight to make this pretty. I went perfect clip here. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Nope.
That's fine. That's fine. Obviously, trigger discipline matters a lot less when you're ulting, but yeah, it's good. So, this is the flip side of the Gibraltar, right? So Gibraltar felt like, oh, this is easy. It doesn't really seem to matter how I'm playing or what I'm doing. We're gonna put this one in the bag. This one seems like you're fully focusing, you're fully logged in,
GG.
and yet things go. Don't forget to report your mantra.
GGWP. Match. Thanks for AFK.
So this one was the opposite. It doesn't really seem to matter if you were really being deliberate with your focus and with your practice, you still lose. This is the nature of practice, right? Sometimes the practice gives you immediately positive reinforcement by, oh, you're going to win the match if you practice well. Sometimes it doesn't. The point being, though, is that this practice, whether you win or lose, is going to make you a better soldier player. It's going to make your aim better. It's going to make your positioning better. And so regardless of whether you have a moron tank or not, this is worth doing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay, so this is what I want you to practice with Sojourn. So you can go and leave, and we'll wrap this up.
Yeah.
Number one, am I on an angle? Doesn't have to be an optimal angle, but am I on an angle? Number two, when should I be railing? Be thoughtful and deliberate with every single rail that you use. Does that make sense? Those are the two skills to work on. Soldier, not just am I on the right angle at the start, but I want you to focus mid-fight rotations. Life hack here. In terms of the biggest bang for your buck in that particular game, mid-fight rotations would have been way more important than trigger discipline. They were doing a good job shoving you into your angles, and you were doing a very poor job of rotating and finding a different spot in terms of how quickly you were doing it. Now, I'm not blaming you for that because I told you not to worry about that. That's good. But that absolutely is going to be your biggest bang for your buck in terms of practice in some games, and it is a skill that you need to work on because your autopilot in terms of your rotations is very weak, which is a problem because that's soldier's strength. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
So not just taking an angle, but listening. Where are they? Okay, where can I go? Right, and getting more comfortable and confident with the maps. Number one thing to practice a soldier. A very close number two is trigger discipline in terms of forcing yourself to pause your clips, realign your crosshair. Force yourself to be deliberate with each and every shot. It's easy to have good quote unquote trigger discipline with Sojourn because you only have the one rail. You got to be deliberate with it, right? With Soldier, you're just like, I'll just reload and keep shooting some more. No. You have to be hitting your shots. You have to be deliberate with those shots. You did a very nice job of practicing it here despite the result. Keep doing that. Do you have any questions?
No, I don't. I think what you said is actually really digestible. I think I can work on both of those things.
Okay.
You did say there was a recording of this I could look at later.
I'm going to send it to you in just a few minutes.